100,000 eggs on the bottom of this crab. Each one of those eggs will hatch into a microscopic plankton called a zoea. And that zoea will eventually become a big crab.
I was a violent youth. I had a hard time growing up. I'm from Los Angeles. I lived a square mile in the middle of Los Angeles where there's more gang warfare than any other square mile in LA County. And so to be a part of a program where a lot of kids are facing temptations and struggles and challenges, to be a part of that and to teach these students that their voice matters, that they have within them a limitless potential, that's why I teach. That's what it's all about.
Here we're really getting kids, I think, who may never have this kind of opportunity if we don't provide it to them. Their parents can't afford to send them to camp. They may not have the parental supervision even during the day. So this is an incredible opportunity.
Some things in classrooms give me inspirations, and then I'll just think about it and then start writing, and I'll make that idea bigger.
YES stands for Youth Environmental Studies. It's an opportunity for us to get middle school students on Galveston Island out into the natural environment. We want to get them on the Gulf, we want to get them fishing, and we want to get them in the bay. And then they come back to the classroom setting where we get them to write about their experiences. All right, that's all right.
There's just so many benefits of this program to the kids, to society, and to the university. You know, we've got hunger, drought, global warming, AIDS, malaria, the list goes on and on. But where do we seek solutions? That's really in science. We seek science to help us understand these problems and to solve them.
That's a baby squid. Turn around and hold it for the camera.
Sometimes you'll be scared for the first time, but once you see somebody grab the fish, and then you're really not that scared of them anymore. And you'll want to drop them, but there's just something inside of you that says, I can't do that.
It's about observing something, asking questions, trying to seek the answers to those questions, then asking more questions. And we do that maybe with test tubes and complicated equipment, but the kids do that by getting out and saying, gee, teacher, what's that? And then they get an answer and they think about, well, why is that doing that?
It has symmetry, and what is symmetry?
When both sides, they look the same if you cut them in half.
Okay, so this side would mirror this side.
I like how it teaches different things. Like in writing class, we're writing a novel about we lost on the island, and we have to find a way how we got on the island, if we're gonna get off or not.
Today it's chapter 5. You've got all 80 characters of your novel in your neighborhood, right? We try to get them into the classroom to take ownership over the experience in their writing. And one of the ways they've been doing that in the environmental writing class is a novel. It's a short novel, but it's a 3-act novel where they're using their knowledge of Galveston Island to describe 8 characters who get stuck on this island at some and emphasize setting detail, all right? Sensory detail, lots of physical detail of the island. We let them draw up, mock up, you know, versions of the characters. And they love it, you know, they dress them, they talk about injuries sustained and however they got their characters stranded on this island. And it gives them an opportunity visually to express, you know, what they're doing in the novel itself.
We drove across the bridge just before daybreak.
I open early in the morning and dissolve at noon.
I think they become more emotionally responsive in an open way. I don't think that TV and the internet necessarily allows for that. And poetry calls for an emotional response.
Othello, why don't you read the line right before that?
We did team teaching with Othello. They were actually very taken by the ways in which the play deals with race.
Why might Desdemona lie about Othello killing her?
When Othello murders Desdemona, and you know that Othello loves Desdemona, your heart cries out for that.
But did she really have the affair with Cassio?
Yes, it's really interesting to me because it makes for real experiences. And I think real experiences make the difference down the line, generation after generation.
Before I came to this program, I felt like I was just living in a little world, but now I can see that Galveston is really bigger than we used to think it is. You gotta wonder, how long is this bay? How many feet, how many miles?
The reason why I like the YES School is the way they make the connection between the different subjects like social study, science, writing. When you get this connection, I believe that your learning becomes strengthened with a foundation.
These kids, they learn so quickly. This is when they're excited about learning, they're naturally curious, they're energetic, they're enthusiastic. And our feeling is that we catch them while they're young, this is when we can really instill in them a love for science.
They're amazing students. They're reading Othello in the program, they're memorizing a lot of stuff, and then they're coming in and they're writing a novel. And it's because when we look at them, we don't see an individual that's underprivileged. We see a student with the capability to do great things if they're given the opportunity.